Welcome back to Gooner Fanzine TV after Arsenal's hugely disappointing 2-1 home defeat to Olympiakos, meaning they were knocked out of the round of 32 tie on away goals after 2-2 draw over both legs. I'm here with Dan the Man. We've both just come from Mikel Arteta's press conference. I'm gutted. I don't really feel like talking, but we're going to have to. So, obviously,
he's pushing through.
Yeah, we're pushing through. What I would say is Mikel Arteta was far more gutted. Basically,
yes.
He really felt. Well, as I say, we've come from his press conference. What was your take on Arteta?
I mean, when he first walked in, I thought he was just going to drop his head onto the desk and not say anything. He looked absolutely gutted.
Honestly.
I like the fact that a lot of the things he was talking about was, I have to lift the players now. I've got to, get a reaction. I've got to turn this around, basically. It shows that he is going to be defiant rather than letting this kind of define the rest of the season. So that is a positive, I guess. But yeah, understandably, he was gutted.
Yeah, you could see it by his body language. You could see it by his tone of voice, hear it by his tone of voice. You're right, he was trying to be as defiant as he could. He was trying to show good leadership there. But yeah, he actually said himself, didn't he? He goes, that hurt.
Yeah,
that
big
really
time,
hurt.
Yeah, that was the words he used, wasn't it? That hurt big time, yeah, so...
Yeah,
sums it up, really.
I mean, there's not much else to say, really. It was the fact that, where was the time? I'm trying to think what he talked about. I was just so gutted.
Well, he talked a lot about missing big chances, didn't he? Obviously, Aubameyang's at the end. He said they had enough chances to win the game. I mean, he's probably right. Lacazette should have scored a couple as well.
Yeah,
that Aubameyang one at the end was the key one, really. I think you mentioned, the defensive side as well, not being focused and not being switched on, saying it wasn't good enough, basically. And he's perfectly right. I don't know what. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what Leno was doing. We mentioned that in the player ratings. I don't know why he didn't just kick the ball upfield. Not sure why Luiz wasn't switched on, or Socrates for that matter as well. Also, for the first goal as well, when there's a 6'6" defender in the box, why was he the only man that wasn't marked? That's my main question.
Yeah.
Defensively, not good enough again. It seems to be kind of creeping back into Arsenal's game at the moment. Obviously, the 4 clean sheets. Weren't defensively very good against Everton, but, won the game in the end. Weren't good defensively tonight. I mean, Olympiakos had 3-4 chances and scored twice. So, yeah, not good enough, and Arteta knows that and acknowledged that. And it still is going to need work. It's going to take time to get them working as a unit and more switched on and focused. So, at least he's acknowledging that fact.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously he didn't criticise the boys, nor should he in public. He can say what he wants behind closed doors, and he did stick up for them. And he wasn't critical of Leno, but you could see he was basically saying, he needs to learn from that, as did the back line, basically. And it's just such a shame we weren't talking about Aubameyang's late goal that everyone thought would have clinched the tie, basically, because it was a fantastic goal. I can't even remember if he was actually asked about it. There was no point, really, because it didn't matter, basically. But it was just very, very disappointing, wasn't it? And Arteta did make the point that Arsenal played 4 games in 11 days. He said the boys were tired. The most important thing now is to lift them again, basically. And I think that's absolutely right. I suppose the only good thing is for, normally we're moaning about a Monday night game, but I think a Monday night game has probably come at the right time for Arsenal, really, with Portsmouth on Monday rather than, say, Sunday, or even probably not Saturday, but Sunday game. So it gives them another 24 hours. But that was a tie that would take a lot out of them, basically. The 120 minutes tonight, the sort of emotional roller coaster, the negativity that comes from losing a game so late on after 2 hard-fought ties, after travelling to Greece in the first leg as well. And he stressed that as well, didn't he? He just said, look, the lads are tired. We're going to have to lift them, basically. So.
Well, I mean, we've said this a few times, haven't we? We knew that Arteta was going to be a good coach. He's shown that, and he's shown in the past that he can be a good manager as well, in terms of, players and managing them and lifting them, whatever that requires, as a man manager, basically. He's going to need to show that, isn't he? He's going to have to be able to somehow, after that disappointment, lift the spirits and get the morale back, because the spirit and the unity and the morale was looking really good. I mean, they were fighting through and fighting for each other to win games. Obviously, the unbeaten 10-game run is now over, which is a shame, but he has to show that side again of getting them in the right place mentally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose that it's quite good in a way that obviously they've got Portsmouth on Monday rather than, say, Man City on Sunday, which was the league game that would have been scheduled there. So that I suppose makes a difference. Just a point for me, I've got to say, when you're in the press box, you've got to be completely neutral.
Yes.
You've got to be, you've got the etiquette is, if there's a goal scored, whether that you're covering one team or another, or you're completely neutral, you don't react. You don't don't do anything. You're professional. You write about it, you cover it, you watch it, you do whatever you've got to do in terms of whatever your job is, whether it's broadcasting, writing, or commentating. And I just have to say there was a group of Greek journalists in the press box today who were absolutely disgraceful. They were a disgrace to their profession.
Yeah. One of them ran past me with
honestly,
their arms in the air. You just don't do
fair
it.
play to Olympiakos for getting a late goal. They deserved it. Certainly on tonight, over 120 minutes.
Yeah.
They've got through, basically. That's the essence of football. Arteta said it as well. That's football. It's cruel, but it happens. You move on. But if you're a journalist in the press box, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you work for. I don't care who you write for. You keep calm, okay? You do not ever jump up and disgrace yourself, disgrace your profession, disgrace the press box, the Arsenal press box. That's hallowed ground, and I don't ever want to see journalists, wherever they're from, whether they're Greek, whether they come from the moon, I don't ever want to see journalists do that, because for me that disgusts me, absolutely disgusts me. I've sweated blood to become a journalist, just like Dan has as well, like everyone has. We care about our trade, we care about our professional. You have to be professional, and to see about 10 journalists jump up and scream like banshees, do it anyway, and that's great. Do not do it in the press box. I'm absolutely disgusted by them, to be brutally honest. So yeah, rant over. I don't know what you thought about that, Dan.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time I've seen it. It mostly happens at European games.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot.
More of the European.
It's the Spanish games, it's Italian games, and it's the Greek teams, but it's mostly Greek, and it's not on. It's not on. It's absolutely not on.
Look at it this way. Well, you and I or any other Arsenal supporting journalists that are there, I know there were a couple of them, were they running around when Aubameyang scored what looked like was going to be the winner?
Absolutely.
No, you've just got to behave the way you should. You've got to be respectful, be completely unbiased in the way that you react. Obviously, in terms of the reporting, it can be a bit more Arsenal biased or whatever, but you've got to respect where you are and respect the people around you, and it's not on, basically.
I swear to God, I saw one of them, he was crying. It was like, well, what are you doing? He was standing up, a grown man. To be fair, I
was almost crying.
Yeah, me too. But a grown man in his job was crying because his team scored. Great if you're in the weigh-in, but not in the press box. Not in the press box. So yeah, just don't do it, okay? Basically.
If you're watching, which I doubt you are, but don't do it.
yeah, you obviously won't be watching, but really, that just sealed the night for me. I was gutted that Arsenal lost, gutted that journalists disgraced themselves in the press box, Greek journalists disgraced themselves in the press box, and Arteta was gutted obviously as well, wasn't he? To calm it down a little bit. It was he was very dignified. He did a bit, he did what he had to do, played a dead bat on everything, but you could see he hurt tonight, and he said that as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned Monday a little bit at Portsmouth, but obviously takes an extra significance now. Yeah. Get the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That is a way back into Europe as well, a very complicated way back into Europe, with a lot of factors, but it is a way in the end, as is the Premier League, and to take a slightly more positive spin on it, it might, in the long term, be a good thing for Arsenal for the rest of the season. Obviously, bitterly disappointing, as I say, and we would have liked to go all the way to Gdansk and win the Europa League. Not going to happen now, unfortunately, but yeah, it might turn out to be something that really does help them in terms of not having to play on a Thursday night, having that extra time to prepare. Arteta's spoken a few times in the past about not having a full week with the players. I think the only full week he's really had was the winter break where they went to Dubai, so it might be a boost and it might help. We'll wait and see, but yeah, that is probably one of the only positives from tonight. Yeah,
absolutely. Well said, Dan. That's us from the shadows of the Emirates after Mikel Arteta's press conference after a bitterly disappointing result for Arsenal, who are knocked out by Olympiakos in the Europa League. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, share, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.